as the sun started setting, we started noticing a bunch of random like stars, right? Like I don't know if this was in our head and we were like, और ये मेरे को नहीं पता कि this was pre-pollution, हमें इतने stars दिख कैसे रहे थे. But that was also the sketchy part. Like we would never see so many stars. That's how like we got suspicious. Like it wasn't even that we were like, we saw like a UFO right away. Guys, welcome back to the Podstarz, where we have the biggest headphones, we have the biggest microphones, but we have the smallest penises. This person sitting next to me is not a guest this time. He hasn't been fired. No, Kamal, you still have your Naukri at Amazon?
Yes, I do.
He's been sleeping here
Luckily.
since the day he came for the episode.
Guys, that's actually cap though, क्योंकि कमल भोसड़ी वाले ने अभी काम शुरू भी नहीं किया है. हमें बस कंटेंट चाहिए था तो
उसने ऑलरेडी Amazon पे इतना वो मार दिया.
ऑलरेडी बकचोदी कर दी. उसने केस स्टडी करी थी, उस पे पूरा पॉडकास्ट निकाल दिया हमने. वो उसने कॉलेज में
मैंने तो इतना कुछ बोला भी नहीं था.
वो उसने करी थी कॉलेज में.
जेफ के बारे में तुम लोग बोल रहे थे.
Don't look at him as your mentor.
Yeah, please don't. He's not inspirational. He's nothing.
इसको नौकरी नेपोटिज्म की वजह से मिली थी.
भाई लोग बताओ क्या कह रहे थे हमें. मैंने एक कमेंट पढ़ा था, 21 ही कमेंट थे तो मैंने सारे कमेंट्स पढ़े थे. तो
2 दिन में
somebody was like pod bully cast. ये अपने गेस्ट को बुली कर रहे हो.
ये गेस्ट वेस्ट नहीं है, ये
बिहाइंड द सीन्स मत देख लेना.
कभी तो देखोगे.
पेन का लोड़ा है.
पेन का. Anyway guys, so the topic at hand today is UFOs, or
UAPs,
as we call them now, UAPs. Have you guys had any experience with UFOs, UAPs, whatever you like to refer to them as?
Americans hallucinating.
That okay, that's his.
No,
now we know his stance.
What do you think about aliens? Do you believe in aliens?
AMK,
I do.
we have to first answer the question.
They said no, they don't. They haven't.
None of you have?
No, they said
we have
no.
had no experience.
Okay, so we'll come to the aliens.
I think you're an alien. You just forget things really fast.
No, but the point is that we have to first get to...
No, it's first we ask them, do they believe in the aliens, and then we tell them the stories.
But if we
To
see them,
make
we'll
them
believe
believe.
them. No?
Do you believe in aliens?
Yes, aliens I believe in.
Okay. UFOs you don't believe in, तो बहुत सारे चलते कैसे हैं भाई?
Track करने आ गए.
अमेरिका में क्यों आते सिर्फ?
UFOs भाई हर जगह आते हैं.
इतनी सारी लंबी बिल्डिंग वो देख के बोलते हैं भाई मेरे को भी देखनी है, क्या क्या छुपा रही है
I've
लंबी
read
लंबी
a pretty
बिल्डिंग
good
पे.
theory about that though. But we'll talk
Nuclear, I
about the
don't think-
experiences first.
अच्छा.
Dude, okay, now that you're talking about that theory, even I'm... So basically, what we're here to talk about is my UFO sighting in Gurgaon. When you say that, it already sounds funny, but this is 100% serious. It's not sarcastic. This is something that really happened with me. So let's not beat around the bush. Let's get right to it. This was when I was about, I think, like 12 or 11. And I think I was 12, yeah, between 11 to 13. So I started fucking around when I was 15 in terms of substances. So I was sober here. In case any of my haters wants to say, Anmol sala nashe mein tha. मैं sober tha. Anyway, so what had happened was, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with my backyard.
हाँ.
And I don't mean my bum. Like my actual backyard. You are right.
Yeah, we all said yes. See, he keeps on forgetting again and again.
Abbe, I'm just confirming.
पिछले 3 सेकंड का भूल जाता है.
So basically, point
Gajni.
being that I was playing in my backyard, like we were all doing some bakchodi. और पीछे हमारे, like for the audience that hasn't seen the backyard, basically my house is inside a colony, and inside that colony there's like a bunch of whatever stuff like a colony has. और हमारे घर के basically पीछे पहले मेरा backyard है, और backyard के और पीछे is the playing area, right? The kids play area. It has a swing, it has a sand pit and
The
everything.
park.
The park basically, and the park has a sand pit with the swings and everything, which is right behind my house. So all of us as kids, I don't know what we were doing, but a friend of mine and I, both of us were in the backyard, and this was around 7ish. I don't know what month it was, but I'm assuming it wasn't very cold because we were outside, and it was dark. So and the sun goes down at what, 7ish, 7:30, 7:45, 8ish. So it was pretty dark, and as the sun started setting, we started noticing a bunch of random like stars, right? Like I don't know if this was in our head and we were like, और ये मेरे को नहीं पता कि this was pre-pollution, हमें इतने stars दिख कैसे रहे थे. But that was also the sketchy part. Like we would never see so many stars. That's how like we got suspicious. Like it wasn't even that we were like, we saw like a UFO right away. Now I don't know what exactly happened, but basically we were seeing these stars and they were all like weirdly shaped, right? So the sun, like the sky barely has stars usually. And this one random night we're playing outside and we just start seeing a fuck ton of stars and they're all like weirdly shaped. And for some reason they're all in like triangular formations. Now I don't know if we were trying to perceive.
These are like the Pheonix lights. Do you know about the Pheonix lights?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Oh.
That's the so you don't know about the Pheonix lights?
No, I'm not sure.
So there was Pheonix, Arizona, na?
Yeah.
So basically, I don't know if it was Arizona. Yeah, it was Arizona only. So what these guys saw was a triangular formation.
Yeah.
These lights,
Yeah.
which basically they thought were stars.
Yeah.
And it's not one person. The whole town
Town
saw
saw
it.
Yeah.
And this was on the news. And there was like a picture of the whole thing on the news.
No, I think it was like पूरे town की light चली गई थी,
हाँ.
and then everybody came out because there was no
There were
light,
like
nothing to
three,
do in the house.
like there were like
Three big triangles.
three. But so people were like first saying हम क्या देख रहे हैं बहनचो, तो then
हाँ.
they realized, and then like there were, and like government officials and everybody like cooperated, said that they also saw it.
But these were just three big lights.
Not
No,
three big lights.
three different things. That first the triangle, and the second time they saw another triangle. As in
What?
like
And
a
these were perceived to be stars or what?
No,
UAP.
they said that they saw
Moving.
UFOs or
They were, like,
something. They were like
moving, and
moving. Like
And they were all
huge.
triangles,
They were
big
all
big triangles.
yeah.
And they were like spots or what? Like you have
They were like
in
lights.
Photo में क्या था?
Lights thi, lights. You could tell
Like
it's like
connected
video.
lights. थी?
connect.
Yeah,
So
dot,
basically, in the
dot,
picture
ऐसे.
you see, in the picture and the video, there's a video
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
that you see that it's like formed by like 8 lights here, 8 lights here, 8 lights here.
But they're
ऐसे
not perfect
triangle.
lines,
They're
right? They're
almost-
dot, dot,
हाँ,
dot.
हाँ,
थोड़ा
dot,
ऐसा ही है ना?
dot.
Yeah, so basically we started seeing a bunch of... Now see, like again, now how did I didn't know about Pheonix lights. So how the fuck did I also see triangles while somebody else who spotted a UFO was also seeing triangles? Like that can't be a fucking coincidence. So then I see these fucking stars, right? And they're all like making triangular shapes. So then this is when I was obsessed with the Illuminati. So then I picked away on the triangles right away and I was like, what the fuck? Why are there so many triangles in the sky? And then I'm obsessed with the Illuminati, but my friend who's like 2 or 3 years elder to me, he's obviously not. So I'd show him. I could perceive that like it could be like, you know, like a thing, like a whatever self-serving thing that I wanted to see it. So I saw it, but he didn't want to see it, but he saw it as well. And he saw the triangles as well. And then we were both like, that's kind of whatever, kind of weird. And then while we were like, because dude, this was like when we used to like have no phones, no nothing. I don't know. I don't even know if we had consoles. This is when we were just flat out doing bakchodi bahar. We were like little kids.
We're not that old. We
This
had
is 10
consoles.
years ago.
Yeah, we had console. We had PS3 back then.
PS3,
अपनी
but
बात कर रहे हो.
I like
मैं दुनिया की बात नहीं कर रहा.
I didn't have a fucking console or whatever at that time. So we were all in the backyard. We were just staring into the sky.
That's
And
all you did.
Not that particular night we were fucking around. Like I'm sure my friend had a console. I'm sure we would play at his house. But this time we were in the backyard playing. And once we started noticing the triangles, then we were just focusing on the sky. And then right over the badminton court, guys, to give you context again, the sand pit is like in here and the badminton court is like right here. So it's like diagonal to the sand pit. And yeah, it's like diagonal to the sand pit. And the badminton court has these floodlights which are long. They lambi floodlights hai, and they're like obviously lighting up the badminton court. So right above the floodlights, I would say like, I don't even know, dude. Like, I don't know if it was like 30 feet, 20 feet, 40 feet. Like about, I would say between like,
Use Kamal for scale.
between 30 to 60 feet was the distance from like the light, from the floodlights and the
32?
60 feet. Like it was close as hell. Like it was fucking close, right?
Would
So-
you say it was around 20 to 30 feet?
Why?
Because I have a story which has exactly those things, and I have the dimensions of everything that dude saw.
I think so. Like that's why I was going like
Yeah.
that's why I started at like
Huh.
30, right? So like it was like 30, 40 feet, whatever, 30 to 60 ke beech mein, right? And it was like close, like, and then we just see this thing and we see it for a solid like I would say like 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, so we see it for like 5 to 10 seconds and it's not a flash. Like this is not just comes there and disappears. It's not a flash. It stays there for like 3 to 5 seconds or whatever, 5 to 10 seconds, 3 to 10 seconds ke beech mein. Now this is like almost 10 years ago, so I can't recall perfectly the times. But because of how fucking retarded it was, I can still recall the memory. So like between 3 to 10 seconds and we see this thing, right? We see like exactly how you would assume a UFO to be. Circular with all that shit, but we're seeing it from the bottom. So I don't know what the top is now. I don't know उसका वो बेंचत वो जैसे मेरे वाले UFO का ये है ना ये नहीं दिख रहा था. So I don't know if
he's showing his tattoo.
Guys, I'm showing my tattoo and don't think I'm a fucking conspiracy theorist who has UFOs on him.
Sometimes we forget that it's a podcast.
Yeah, like don't think I'm a fucking conspiracy theorist who has a fucking UFO tattooed on his chest.
When you were defining the area, when he was defining the areas also, he was just like, यहाँ पर swing था, यहाँ पर ये था.
No, but that's a good question. नहीं, I didn't hear any sound. There was no sound.
The thing didn't
there was no sound. As far as I remember, there was no sound. Obviously, this is future
Propulsion.
of propulsion. There's no. I'm assuming there's no sound. So then there was this fucking right. There was not this part. I only saw like the bottom bit here. So I only saw the bottom of it, but it was close enough to me to the point where I could. Like, you know how I can look at this laptop and tell the metallic texture? It was close enough to the point where I could tell the texture of the metal. And I saw like some sort of propulsion system as well. I think there were like 3 of them that I saw. And I saw like that for like 5-6 seconds. And both of us see this at the same time. And we're like completely mind fucked, right? So we're both staring at it. And then it goes and then it disappears. After that, we run to my parents who were like all of our parents were at somebody's house in our colony. They were at a party or something. We run to them and we're like freaking out, right? But we're very young. So us freaking out at that age, we're like, oh, bench, ये coffee ज़्यादा पी ली होगी. Like बच्चे ही हैं, tweak कर रहे हैं. तो फिर we went there and we were seeing all of these triangles, this, that. And now we saw a fucking UFO come out and check this out. ये वो हमने ये सब बोला. और वो it took us like 10 minutes to convince them कि बच्चे यार ये वो बेंचो
10 मिनट तक बाहर ही नहीं आए.
हाँ, they didn't come out and then we
कुछ और बोल देते भाई बाहर बुलाने के लिए.
Because the UFO तो went till then, but we were like, look, notice the fucking stars. They're so weird and they're all triangular and stuff. Then they came out. They were like, no, it's just a starry night. ये वो. But before I ran to call my parents, I ran inside my room. I told my sister. I took a note, like one of those art wala, those big drawing books, and I drew what I saw. Right, exactly where the propulsion things were, how it was laid out, all of those things I drew as to the best of what I could draw. And this is like, I just saw it. Like I saw it like less than a minute back. So my recall was fairly accurate. So I drew it so that I don't forget what I saw. Ran to call my parents. They come out and they're just like, they're like, "Ye man, pagal bacche." Like they didn't literally say that, but they were like, whatever.
They were thinking.
Yeah, like they were thinking.
The same.
And they were like, "ये तो stars ही हैं, बेंचो कुछ नहीं देखा तुम्हें ये वो." और फिर they went back to party. Then like not literally party.
Just slap him on the back of his head.
But
just go back.
They went back to their scene or whatever. और फिर हम लोग whatever, my friend went back to his place. I came to my room and then I started searching a bunch of like UFO pictures, this that to see if I could connect what I saw to anything online. Then I found this weird website which we'll actually try to find after this, which was a website that identifies which was like a UFO conspiracy theory website. और जो उसकी logo था उस website का was exactly what I saw, like to the T. And then I showed my sister. I was like, look, I drew this in front of you when I came in to the house because I told her, right? So I drew it quickly and then I left. So I was like, look, this is what I saw and this is what I drew. So are you telling me it's a coincidence that I drew exactly what is on this fucking that thing? Because it was literally the exact same, including the same propulsion thingy. Everything was the same. And it didn't exactly look like a conventional UFO. There were some distinctions that aren't depicted in movies, which is what differentiated my UFO from the thumbnail UFO, like the thumbnail as in the logo of the website UFO and the regular UFOs on the website. And then I was like कि मतलब मेरा तो बहनचोद उस दिन के बाद से फिर मेरा दिमाग फट गया
कि मैं aliens तो है ही पक्का.
Now it explains everything.
Because I literally saw that and it disappeared after that.
Did you ever think that okay, maybe this is not a spaceship, this is maybe some advanced technology
on Earth?
Yeah. Which hasn't come forward yet. Because that's the one thing that's always like replied to when people say UFOs. That's maybe it's just another country who has advanced technology. But
no, but the thing is that
गुड़गांव में क्या करेगा वो?
नहीं. Is it advanced?
Testing.
Is it advanced enough to the point where it can reach? So is it Indian advanced technology? Is it another country?
It could be another country.
But
or
if it's
Indian.
another country's advanced technology, is it advanced to the point where it can skip all radars? I'm assuming if it
And
can
No,
be...
but UFOs are
absolutely
never.
silent.
UFOs has never skipped radars.
No, they for the but
For
then
the
but
most
then,
part, they've never
Not
skipped radars.
never.
no, but in a lot of the famous ones, they get spotted.
Spotted by the radars. Like the whole the Pentagon release footage,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
always
yeah.
got spotted by the
They
radars.
got spotted by the
Yeah.
fighter jets
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is कि क्योंकि फिर अगर वो skip नहीं होता radar से तो फिर there would be some or maybe how do we know कि भैंचोद उस time पे Air Force के radars पे क्या आ रहा था वो
But
public थोड़ी करेंगे.
radars don't work like that. Radars is not
Everything
ever. It's radars are very strictly bound to a specific area. We don't have a radar all around India.
Yeah.
So if it's like in some specific...
it's always
no,
above
but it
air
has to
bases.
come... No, but airspace तो mapped होती है.
बॉर्डर तो पार किया ना कहीं से.
हाँ एग्जैक्टली एयर स्पेस तो मैप्ड होती है. तो एयरपोर्ट के किसी ना किसी के रेडार पे तो आया होगा क्योंकि
अगर वो एयरपोर्ट के ऊपर से अगर उड़ा
नहीं भाई एयर स्पेस इज मैप्ड बिकॉज इफ यू थिंक अबाउट इट वो एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल कैसे काम करता है वो तो एयर स्पेस को
No, I know how this works. So airspace, aerospace, I think I've read how this works, so maybe if I'm wrong you can tell me, but this is how it works from what I remember is ki of course these all these airports and shit, they have radars all around to a strict kilometer thing. Otherwise the planes you can detect. The planes have chips and shit that you can detect.
Okay, I see. Anyway, so yeah, then we fucking saw this and stuff, and like I've always believed in aliens, so I was shocked that I fucking saw a little UFO. I've never ever remotely had anything close to that or any sort of sighting after that. But that one fucking time, like those motherfuckers were bench देख रहे थे भाई वो हमें.
तुम्हें
5-10 second भाई वो it was angled and it was right there. It was close enough to the point where I felt like it was a stone throw away. Like it was that close.
इस सोचे एलियन पॉडस्टार के एपिसोड देख रहे हैं इस गांड को मैंने डराया था
फेमस हो गया ये.
इस गांड को मैंने डराया था
literally benchos like it was a stone throw away. That's how close it was. So they were literally a stone throw away and I was like कि benchos ये तो literally हमें देख के गए हैं. उसने भी मेरे को देखा है, मैंने भी उसको देखा है और उसके बाद से भाई कभी फिर से नहीं हुआ. बट ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता that aliens don't exist. The earth is literally expanding every single second. The earth, the universe is expanding. It's like almost narcissistic of humans to say that we are the only life.
There are three levels to this, you know. People either believe that aliens exist and they're like way more advanced than us.
Okay.
Then people think that aliens exist, but aliens aren't exactly as you put them out to be. Aliens are just microorganisms. Like they're just there. Their life is just starting in their planet. That's why we haven't heard of them. And third is you
but
just
then
don't
that's
believe in
again
aliens.
That's again we are the better,
superior
the
species.
pioneers
That's again a very weird perspective.
Yeah.
Like that's like a self, like obsessed.
No, I believe that there are superior species.
No, because how can there not be someone out there when there's literally just infinite space? How can there not?
And we've only been here for a very, very small, for a millisecond for the whole span of the fucking universe.
Yeah. No, if you put the universe into like the whole time frame of the universe
Since the Big Bang
to like today, it's in a year. Then the humans evolved in at 11th hour, 58th minute, and some seconds.
Oh,
Like if you put the whole
universe in a year, like let's say the Big Bang till now is a year.
Yeah.
Fine.
Then humans, when humans emerged, it was at 11th, like रात के 11:58 minutes and some seconds.
Since the Big Bang,
since the Big Bang.
11th hour since the Big Bang started.
11 like अगर सुबह अभी आज 12 AM Big Bang हो रहा है.
हाँ.
And then humans emerged the next day 11 at 11:58 minute and some seconds. PM.
They emerged early, you're saying?
No, very late. In the last 2 minutes.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
We're late to the party.
I see. Yeah, dude, there's no way we're not late to the party, and there's no way that what I saw, like I saw something. Now, if that's aliens or if it's futuristic technology, that is up to discussion.
No, but if it's futuristic, this is my thing. Like if it's futuristic technology, let's say you saw it 10 years ago, and some of these cases that I have here also are pretty long ago, then this technology would be out. Till now, at least.
It's starting to come out, but
no, it's not.
By
Bro,
futuristic,
it's not even
do you mean
close.
like somebody has already evolved it now, or futuristic as in that like time travel shit that they've come back
No,
in
no,
time.
no.
that
No,
future.
futuristic technology as in
Like the
technology in our government's hands that is so far
Advanced,
ahead
yeah.
and so like
that they
Okay,
can't
okay,
release them
okay.
to the general
Right,
public.
exactly
right.
that we don't know,
Oh.
we're not aware, and it's
Yeah.
like secret whatever.
You know, I read
Yeah.
that there's a real MIB. There've been videos and cases of people
Yeah,
recording the
even
real
I heard
Men in
about
Black.
that.
And apparently, if you talk about UFOs and stuff, they come and
Yeah,
They
they don't kill you.
they wipe your
They
memory.
just threaten you. They're like, don't talk about
Something.
UFOs.
But like, have you seen the same?
Bhai,
It's like they have no eyebrows and they're like very
Ha, ha,
weirdly
ha,
looking.
ha.
That kind of shit. Yeah.
bro,
It's
if they
great.
come and tell me that they fucking sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah.
if they come and tell me ki you can't talk about UFOs, I'll start talking about them. I feel like मैंने Men
But
in
no,
Black देखे थे.
they're doing something like okay, like something right. If nobody's been like talking about that much these
Bro,
days.
everybody talk. The thing is that, dude, the officials never used to talk about UFOs like the Pentagon released whenever they released it. They
Yeah.
said they never spoke about this shit because people would make fun of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been
the pro-
ridiculed
They would
to
never
the
be
point
taken
that-
seriously.
Yeah, the probability of re-election is so low if you're just being
The
like
government is
ban
probably the
UFO
one who's
asli hai
seen
ye
the most
Of the
amount
UFO.
of
yeah, for
this
sure.
kind of stuff.
And they have like reported cases and everything
Exactly,
comes
they
to
have
them.
everything.
But no, it's been like I read about this. There's been whole like CIA like cases released, like not cases, but they're like
Whatever,
paperwork
yeah,
and all that
files,
shit released.
yeah.
Yeah, files released. And then this was the propaganda that they had to ridicule this topic to the point that like
It's stupid
people,
to talk
yeah,
about
that
it.
people will just like start seeing this as something very stupid to talk
Like
about.
raid for Area 51 type.
Yeah, all of that kind of things.
You're saying that they made it that way.
Yeah,
like
it was
CIA,
yeah,
like
all
it
of-
was like CIA propaganda basically
Yeah.
to make it.
कि उसको
so
जोक बना दो
stupid,
कि कोई
yeah.
माने ही ना.
Yeah. like media,
बन ही गया था,
newspaper,
but वो
all
तो-
of these guys, that was like point और उन लोगों ने कर भी दिया था, but in medias everywhere they had like their people doing this shit that
Hmm.
it'll just ridicule it to the point that कोई बात ही नहीं करेगा इसके बारे में.
That's what I'm here to talk about today. I have,
Nice.
I have-
EMK's come prepared today.
I have so many cases like I did for the episode before, way
Six,
before
episode
that,
six.
episode 6. So, we're gonna play a game with this. Okay, after I tell you one story,
Yeah.
we're gonna find out one reason why the story is true,
Yeah.
and one reason the story could be.
False.
Wait,
Made up.
amongst us, like we're
Yeah, yeah,
gonna
yeah. We're
have
gonna
a
decide.
discussion. Okay, cool.
Because of course
Even you
there
guys in
are
comment.
ways that the story could be
disprove.
every
Yeah.
story
Yeah.
could be false.
yeah.
Okay, maybe
Why don't we try to come up with
different ways?
theories for my theory first, like
oh,
my
okay,
sighting.
okay, fine. Why it could be false?
Why it could be false? Yeah.
Well, I mean, the first very basic one is that you were like 12. So it could be just not like, I'm not saying your imagination, but it could be misperception that you
It could be
saw something.
misperception,
Yeah.
but it can't be misperception when it's two people, because both of us recount the story the exact
And he
same
was
way.
he was 14.
And he was older
And
than
MIB
me.
took the other guy.
And he was older than me.
Yeah.
No one knows where he went.
Our friendship kind of got canned, but that was unrelated. But yeah.
I don't know. You were looking for fame. You were trying to be the light of the party.
I would be fucking chucked out of the party if I said मैं भी UFO देख के आया हूँ.
But you didn't get checked
They
out
did
of
that too. They both
मैं-
भेज देते जा घर जा.
Oh, light of the parents का party.
हाँ.
Bad theory.
Attention के लिए parents लिए ये सब.
Parents
Attention
didn't
के
give you
लिए.
attention.
Just very basic.
Parents ने कहा पार्टी भी नहीं, बच्चों दोनों बाहर जाओ, बाहर पीछे खेलो.
मम्मा UFO देखा मैंने. फिर भाग कर आ गया. और बार भेजो मुझे.
और बार भेज.
Taunt
फिर वो
कर.
साइड में ही बिठा दिया मेरे को. तब से मैंने शराब पीनी शुरू कर दी उस पार्टी से.
अंकल के साथ. कह रहे UFO दिखाइए देख और भी कुछ दिखेगा. हमें रोज दिखता है.
ऐसे नहीं हमें रोज दिखता है.
रोज दिखता है.
मैं UFO घर चला के जाऊंगा.
UFO तो ये बीची की है.
UFO तेरा अंकल चलाता है.
आजा मेरे UFO में बैठ.
ये तो आंटी को बोलते हैं अंकल.
तेरे को बोल रहे थे.
UFOs like-
That got dark little too soon.
उस टाइम पे तो मैं यंग भी था. वो अंकल was he a pastor?
What the fuck?
We can crack those jokes. That's a
I
common.
mean,
that's a common
we're in
one.
India. We're in
Yeah,
India.
yeah.
Right, right. There are pastors in India also.
अबे तो वो क्या?
Oh, actually.
अबे तो it's still that this one flies. This one flies. Trust me. अभिषेक इसको मत निकालियो. Guys, Abhishek's our editor. Anyway, let's get back to the first story because you guys could not disprove my theory.
What do you think? Why do you think your story could be false?
Why do I think my story could be false? Dude, like I straight up can't say it would be false because if it's not, it wasn't.
No, but you're telling me you've never doubted when so many people have told you, "Nahi, Molly, tu chutiya
No,
hai."
are you crazy? I still tell it with the same passion because, dude, if it's a far away sighting, right? Like when you see a ghost in a jungle, there's so many theories that you can say, oh, it's your shadow. What you heard was leaves rustling or something. But dude, this was close enough to me to the point where I could see the texture of the metal. So there's no way that I can be like, oh, it was like an oversight. Like unless somebody gave me a fucking hallucinogen that makes me hallucinate for exactly 10 seconds and see something in exactly one spot. Till then, I saw it and I can't disprove it. Because it can't be like an illusion, it can't be a shadow, it can't be like, my eyes perceiving something wrong because it was so close. And I drew it and then I matched it with another fucking website's fucking straight up logo.
Theory approved.
Exactly. So I was like, how I didn't doubt myself for a second. It's fucking ridiculous. It was actually fucking ridiculous.
आप हमारे साथ मुंबई आ सकते हैं.
Basically.
No, but the main reason, okay, maybe we can't disprove this theory, but the outsiders disprove this theory. It's
Yeah,
just-
let's see, guys. You can comment down below what you think of
so
it.
the main reason behind that is people just start up saying that, okay, he's just making evidence up or he's just lying and shit like that.
Yeah, so obviously this is anecdotal. So if you go ahead and say that his anecdote is not true, then to fir,
It's not disproving, it's just denying it.
yeah, then you're
altogether.
denying it. Then exactly,
Yeah.
you're not saying that this is why this is the whole done
So
story.
एलियन व्हाइट हाउस पर लैंड कर रहा है, उसने बोल दिया कि मैंने अनमोल रायना देखा था.
पहला email आया, वो कह रहा है कि मैंने अनमोल
अनमोल
राणा
राणा
अब मैं उसे इंस्टा पे भी फॉलो करता हूँ.
मैं मुठ बात हूँ.
हाँ, मैं यही बोला, मैंने मुट्ठी मारनी शुरू कर दी.
एलियन ने कमेंट कर दिया, मैं था वहाँ पे. मैं गुड़गांव में
The
था.
reason
मैं था वहाँ पे.
aliens सामने है, मौली के पॉडकास्ट देख रहे सब लोग इसका मजाक उड़ा रहे, सिंपैथाइज करके बोल रहे अब तो चलना पड़ेगा इस बच्चे का
सोच,
मजाक उड़ा रहे.
यहाँ पे बेंच या कमल चूतिया की जगह एक एलियन बैठा है. और वो
we are the smallest penises
In the universe.
और वो से हम बिल्कुल बुली नहीं कर रहे, डर रहे हैं हम.
guard फट गई सब. Okay, we'll start with my first case. Have you guys seen the movie Fire in the Sky?
No.
No.
So this movie is actually a true movie about a lumberjack whose name was Travis Walton. Maybe you've heard the story. This is a very common case. This story is about Travis Walton. He was a lumberjack in Arizona. This Arizona only has the most fucking cases.
Arizona also has the best party colleges.
That's why
Yeah.
everybody's fucked up. That's why
Like
they start
Arizona
saying shit.
State.
वो हवा में क्या उड़ रहा है?
अरे मैं लैंड उड़ रहा है. फेंक के मारा था साले को.
Unidentified land.
UL. ओए वो तो यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ आर्ट लंदन है. ये अनआइडेंटिफाइड लैंड है वो.
ये तेरे को भी दिख रहा है?
बिल्कुल.
चल स्टोरी चल गया.
So this story was about a lumberjack named Travis Walton. He was in a 7-man tree thinning crew. Okay, so there were 7 people.
Okay.
So what happened was they were cutting down trees in a forest in Arizona, and one day on their way back home, Travis saw like a light beaming through the trees. Okay.
So this is in like, are these trees high up or is this niche? क्या detail
I'm going to
है
tell you
कुछ?
the exact,
Okay.
like the height of the thing.
Yeah.
Also. So when he got close to the trees, he said this, and I quote, he said this exactly, a strange golden disc. Okay, he said he saw a strange golden disc, and it was 20 feet above the ground. It was 15 to 20 feet in diameter, and it was 8 to 10 feet wide.
Wide you mean like the
Like
width?
Tall.
Okay, tall.
Width of the thing. So then Travis approached the craft.
This was stationary.
This was stationary.
20 feet above the ground.
20 feet above the ground.
Okay.
That's pretty high.
So when
That
he,
is pretty high.
when
yeah.
he approached,
That's like 2-3 floors up.
yeah, 2-3 floors up.
Yeah.
2 floors are basically.
2 basketball hoops.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's high.
So he could basically look up,
Yeah.
right? So he approached the craft and he said that he heard loud vibrations, and as soon as he went close, the craft started spinning really fast.
Yeah.
And suddenly a broom blue-green light went through him. Like it went through Travis.
Through as in it shined on
No,
him?
it went
Through.
through him. Like ऐसे
Okay.
करके, through him.
Lightsaber kind of
Through
thing.
his chest and his head. So basically like that.
Yeah.
Right. So basically this catapulted him like several feet backwards. Like it attacked him sort of.
Okay.
The light. Okay. So his friends were there. He got out of the car to see this all. His friends were there. As soon as they saw this happen, they ran away.
And
Oh.
ditched him.
Yeah.
So
'cause
they
got
saw him
fucking
getting
scared.
flung.
Yeah.
So you're telling me 7 people saw Travis.
And lumberjacks, bro. Jack motherfuckers.
So 7 of these guys saw this guy get hit by that light under the disc and then
they
flown.
ran
So
away. They
and
got
they
fucking
all
scared.
all of these accounts say the same.
Yeah,
that
all these
okay.
people say the same.
Okay.
And there were polygraphs on these people. And
Okay.
it
So
all-
guys, polygraphs are lie detector tests basically.
So Travis remembers, and I'm going to quote Travis on this. This is whole Travis testimony on this. He wrote this in a book also. So he wrote that he just felt a numbing force of a blow and felt like a high voltage electrocution. Fine.
Okay.
Travis fled the scene, and they went like northeast, like way far away from the scene because they got fucking terrified of what just fucking happened. So I'm going to now read Travis's recollection of when he woke up.
Okay.
Okay, and apparently...
Wait, he got knocked out by this?
Yeah, but when he woke up, he was inside the spaceship.
What the
What?
fuck?
Oh, this was an abduction.
He was in an abduction. And this is one of the most popular abductions. Okay, so what happened when he woke up, and this is his recollection, is he woke up in a medical office with a triangular ceiling. So everything, if you read cases, triangle is a very common thing that goes within the alien, whatever. The shit
Okay.
is fine. And among these, there were like weird bobblehead beings. He also said
big-headed.
somewhat he said humanoid beings, but this is quite different because he saw human-like in his writing. What I could like think, he also saw human-looking beings because he was calling some of them pretty.
Oh, I think I've seen this case. Or
Yeah.
I've read about this case.
But some of them had large brown eyes and abnormally large heads.
Big brain, literally.
Big
Yeah.
brain. So they stood like 5 feet tall,
Okay.
not more than that, and they were wearing like orange brown overalls like minions. तो जैसे होते हैं वो, तो ही ट्रैविस की गांड फट गई, वो उठ गया, भैंचोद अटैक करने लग गया उनको.
मारने लग गया
हाँ, वो
लंबरजैक.
अटैक करने लग गया और वो सारे पीछे हो गए डर के, वो एलियंस.
भैंस जो एलियन डर गए.
हाँ, एलियन तो वो तीनों.
But if they were like 5 feet.
और वो लंबरजैक था भाई.
भाई फिर खली को अपडेट कर लेते तो क्या हो जाता उनका.
स्पेसशिप ऐसे करके नीचे ले आता, वो 5 feet above
शिप
ground
में
होती
सर
बस.
बाहर निकल आता है.
खली अपना एलियन है घर का.
अरे
यहाँ
ये
का.
क्या उठा लिया भाई?
यहाँ का एलियन है खली.
कैसे उठा लिया मेरे को?
जादू.
अरे भाई 8 अंडे चाहिए अभी.
उसको बम कर दिया.
ऐसे में चक दिया.
मच्छर की तरह मार दिया.
सिंगम कर दिया उसको.
So then Travis ran out of the medical room and then he started exploring the other rooms. Okay, in an attempt to escape, of course.
बट ट्रैविस को निकलने दिया एलियंस ने.
अभी वो डर गए थे ना वो तीनों.
3 ही थे वहाँ पे.
हाँ, 3-4 ही थे ना वहाँ पर.
Dead.
तो फिर then he encountered a very muscular man.
Man.
He said man.
Human.
Wearing a helmet, who forced him out of the craft into a big saucer that was flying that had all these crafts in it.
5
Oh.
feet muscular.
He didn't push
Rey
him out of
Mysterio.
the whole thing. He was just out of that craft.
Into a bigger craft.
Yeah. Warehouse, basically a warehouse of other saucers.
Okay.
So, ठीक है. Then he eventually led up to a room with 3 more people.
Normal people.
The way he defined them, I think they were normal. Because एक तो बात मुझे ये समझ नहीं आ रही है, बंदा abduct हो गया, and now the way you see him talk about these people is just he was drunk and turned on. Because he was talking all very good. I quote him. 2 men and a woman were standing around the table. They were wearing velvety blue uniforms like the first man.
ये तो स्टार ट्रेक है.
Almost.
Damn.
ब्राउन ओवरऑल है, ये स्टार ट्रेक है तो.
Except they had no helmets. Previously, these humanoid
yeah.
beings had helmets. The 2 men had the same muscularity and like the good looks as the first man, the first muscular man he saw. The woman also had a face and figure that was the epitome of her gender. ये का बंदे ने.
और 5
और
feet पे
बंदा बोलता है कि they were smooth skinned without any blemishless, no moles, freckles, wrinkles or scar marked the skin. The striking good looks of the man that I had first met were more obvious seeing them all together. He thought they were related.
Okay.
But I don't get this part कि बंदा abduct हो रहा है.
स्किन केयर रूटीन पूछ रहा है.
नहीं, but
शैम्पू कौन सा
dude,
लगाता है?
if you're panicking, you're probably extra observant of everything around you.
I don't think so. I don't think you define
Isn't it the
them
other
to
way
be
around?
pretty.
He would try to just
Escape.
relax.
No,
Yeah.
bro. Like if you're panicking and let's say you're in a situation where
Judge कर रहे हैं. First man is
where
good
you,
looking.
where
Second
you
man.
can't where you can't escape and you're panicking, right? Like now you're seeing what's in front of you because when you're panicking, your senses are heightened, right? So
Like the
everything
fight
you're
or flight
seeing,
thing.
you're being more observant. And I like benchot like aliens ने क्या basically इसका point क्या है कि aliens ने वो कर लिया है, perfect कर लिया है. Like they've like perfected the human form. This
But
is like an
ye-
advanced human
But,
civilization.
but how are these two different beings there? There's huge bobblehead beings and there's normal human looking
So
beings.
that's probably like the aliens.
Shape-shifting.
That's the aliens versus the advanced humans. Like not versus, but like aliens and advanced humans. Because ये तो the reason they have the big heads is because apparently their brains are big, right? Like
That's
if
just
humans,
evolution.
that's what evolution says, right? If
Yeah.
because we don't like I don't know if this is a correct theory or if I read this somewhere or if I'm making this up, but like I think I read this somewhere or I heard this in some podcast
Bola.
or video or something. He was basically कि humans eventually evolve होते होते हमारे server बड़े हो जाएंगे and we'll become less and less muscular because we'll start
Yeah.
relying more and more on tech. So our like we'll become shorter with just massive heads.
I've read about that
NBA
too.
का क्या होगा
Yeah.
भाई?
NBA नहीं होगा फिर.
भाई फिर तो
दिमाग से खेलेंगे
नहीं, फिर
बास्केटबॉल.
तो फ्यूचर में तो लाइक एंटरटेनमेंट वाली इतना कोई सी वो नहीं होगा बिकॉज लाइक एवरीथिंग surrounded by you would be related to like advanced technology or something
मजे
like
मजे
that.
में मैथ कर रहे हैं. मैं मौली को हरा रहा हूँ. मैथ
Guys, let's do some calculus. man. Hey, Charlie.
मैंने पहले खत्म करा.
ओए जो पहले नहीं करेगा वो शॉर्ट लेगा बेटी के.
शॉर्ट लेते UFO दिख रहा है.
UFO में बैठ के कर
बना
रहे हैं
दिया.
गांडू.
Who makes a UFO first? तब हम बात
Whoever can make 50 UFOs हर बारी शॉट ले रहे शॉट ले रहे. लिवर भी एडवांस हो गया दिमाग के साथ
आइडिया
साथ.
ऑफ पार्टी ये रह गया अब.
बस ये.
UFO बनाना.
50
आज
लोग
तो-
क्लब जा रहे हैं ये चीज करने.
हाँ, आज तो बहुत गलत पार्टी करने वाला हूँ. 100 UFO बनाऊंगा एक साथ. देखना तुम लोग.
मानोगे नहीं तो.
हाँ.
एक और स्टोरी सुना.
नहीं ये खत्म थोड़ी हुई है.
वो अच्छा सॉरी.
So basically, these muscular men basically pushed him onto a table and started experimenting on him. Okay, so of course then he passed out, and then
Okay.
next thing he remembers, he
I
woke
wanna-
up back in Arizona, back in that forest.
Where he
And
was
he's-
abducted from
yeah,
originally.
Yeah. So he saw this when he woke up. He saw the disc right above him, and as soon as he woke up, it's vanished. Like it sped really fast and just vanished. So now comes the whole thing where he, of course, reported this and
Yeah.
told everyone. So he only believed that he was gone for an hour and a half in like max,
Yeah.
but he had gone for 5 days. Okay, he vanished for 5 days. There had been a missing report on him for 5 days. Cops and shit.
This is like these reports are
real.
there.
There. The people, his lumberjack friends, were also questioned by the police,
Yeah.
and where all of them just gave the testimony that motherfucker, I saw this fucking spaceship.
Yeah.
Believe me, but they didn't, and they ran through polygraphs, and all of them came that inconclusive because, of course, it was coming true. Like whatever they're saying is actually true. It's not. They're not lying.
Yeah.
So they just said it's inconclusive. So the suspect went under psychiatric testing, polygraphs, whatever, lie detectors, basically. Now, the HuffPost Weird News podcast also covered this,
Yeah.
which I got most of it from, was 15 years later.
Yeah.
Okay. The trees that were there, that where Travis basically said that he got abducted, were producing wood fiber 36 times the rate it had been in the past 85 years.
Just in that area or
Just
just
in
that
that,
Just
spot?
those
just in
trees.
that spot.
Oh, what the fuck.
And not only that spot, basically it was saying a complete sampling revealed that this tree thickened growth only on the side of the tree towards the direction of where the craft was. Not
Damn.
the whole tree, just this little part of this
Yeah,
tree
yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
the craft was.
Aliens fertilizer डाल गए.
कुछ तो हुआ होगा उस
Some-
बीम से
yeah.
ट्री की भी गांड फट गई भाई ये क्या हो गया भाई
Some alien took a shit and the tree started.
उग गए.
it was just a
Oh, God.
beam of shits
टट्टी गिरा दी
They
उनने.
came to dump in Arizona and they took this guy with them.
now there was this one stupid game show that called Travis on which was called the Truth Game Show. It was basically like there was this Indian game show also no where they used to do the polygraph live. I remember, but anyway.
There was one where they used to make you like sleep and take you to your past life and
Yeah.
shit also. That
Oh,
fucking
I
show
remember
was
that.
sketchy. It was scary,
Yeah.
scary tha wo.
But this one got Travis, and basically on that show, the polygraph just said, "Yeah, dude, he's lying." But I think that's just the hoax of the game show,
Yeah.
just to show that he's fucking stupid. But he wasn't. Like I think his abduction was like not maybe 100% real, but there was some truth to it.
If he was genuinely missing for 5 days and 7 people who were with him also said that we filed the
saw it.
same reports
Yeah.
and this is like, then he comes back after 5 days, then how can you say that he wasn't abducted? Like, how do you like disprove that? तो क्या वो बस छुपा हुआ था उसको पुलिस ने ढूंढने की कोशिश नहीं करी.
But why
सब
didn't-
ढूंढ रहे थे कोई मिला नहीं ना.
वही ना तो वो
हाँ.
फिर कैसे, how was he perfectly hidden for 5 days and 7 including him 6 other people saw that he that thing happened. Like बहन जो 7 लोग फिर मिलके चूतिया काट रहे हैं
Did
पुलिस
the
का.
other 6 guys go report the
They
incident?
went back.
That's why
to
they-
find him, and they
that's
couldn't
why-
fight him, and then they reported.
That's why they reported him missing exactly.
Right.
But they went back to find him, but they couldn't.
And they
because
found
felt
him
bad.
where he was abducted from.
No, then he woke
Then
up
he
there.
woke up,
Then he
na.
just
He
went
woke
back.
up there.
5
He
days
was put-
later.
Yeah, he woke up there and then he
They
went
put
to
him back.
report his thing and then yeah.
But why do you think this thing could be false?
Again, the same reason. If he like fame,
Fame.
yeah, recognition.
He did get fame out of this.
But 7 people.
I think his
they were like
books
also
have
like
also been sold a lot.
They all wanted fame.
And he was a lumberjack.
No, but
Someday-
if they all
Okay.
wanted fame, then like we don't know the rest of the 6 people. Why
And-
did they?
yeah,
I
like-
don't think people want to get involved with the fucking cops and shit for a stunt for their fucking friend.
What time was this? Like as in
What year, yeah.
Yeah, what year?
This was, I think, in the 2000, somewhere in the 2000s.
Not very like this is when the technology is kind of advanced, so you can
Yeah.
find people if you want to.
Yeah.
So no, it was not that late because it was reported by like game shows and news and everything.
Yeah.
So this is kind of not
recent.
very old. Yeah.
Not very old. Now we'll move on to the second case, which is I think this is my favorite case because this is like quite messed up because there were like government officials also involved.
Okay.
So this was a case which was November 30, 1989 in New York City.
November 13.
Yeah, November 30.
Oh.
Not your
You
birthday.
got
So this was the abduction of Linda Napolitano.
Linda Napolitano.
हाँ तो Linda बोलेंगे
just
इसको.
call her Linda.
There was a very
Linda N.
Yeah.
Linda ही बोल देंगे भाई.
I'm going to call her Miss Nin.
There was a very popular UFOlogist. This is a job.
Wow.
Wait, is this
Wow.
क्या था उसका नाम? Bob Lazar.
नहीं. This
Okay.
is Bud Hopkins. Okay. So he
Stranger
was a
Things
very
में Hopkins में होता
very popular
Okay.
UFOlogist.
Yeah.
Okay. So he went to document and publicize her case. So in November 30, 1939, around 3:50 a.m. in a New York City apartment, Linda claims that her husband was sleeping next to her, by the way.
Okay.
She was sleeping and she woke with fucking short aliens around her.
In
What-
her
what?
apartment.
In her apartment?
Around her bed.
What the fuck?
How
Yeah.
short?
Very
And
like
how
5
many?
feet tall.
Rajpal Yadav shot.
Her husband was sleeping next to her, but she couldn't wake up her husband. And that found funny. When she was unable to wake up her husband, the beings kept telling her to keep quiet in an odd language.
How did
हाँ,
she?
उसको कैसे पता लगा?
But
चुप
मैं-
चुप कर.
नहीं, ऐसे बोलेंगे। थप्पड़ वप्पड़ और दिखा रहे
ए क्या कर रही है? उसको सोने दे.
सोच उसका हस्बैंड बोला ए सोने दे रहा क्या कर रही है
क्यों वो नहीं उठा था?
नहीं भाई बोला अगर सोचूं
उसको मत उठाओ उसको.
वो काम कर क्या है?
They care about him.
उसको सोने दे.
So of course they said like let him don't let him sleep. sorry.
Let him sleep. Next thing they're saying, next
बोले
thing,
सोने देना यार इसको,
next
क्या
thing
बात
they're saying उसको चूपा भी दे, उसके लिए कॉफी बना के ला भी रात
Let
को.
him sleep. We're here for you.
So yeah, they told her to be quiet, and then the three beings, levitated her outside her 12th story apartment window in a floating blue-white light into a spaceship. Okay?
Okay.
Which is quite unbelievable, but then the fucked up part of the story comes later, which might make more sense. Might not make sense, but it'll be like mind fucking.
More sense.
हस्बैंड ने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दिया था एलियंस को.
भाई लॉन्डो के साथ शराब नहीं पीने देती. ले जा इसको.
इसको ले जा 3-4 दिन.
3 लड़के लाओ उठा के ले जाओ.
इसके थोड़ा डरा वरा दे, खुद शराब पीने लगता है.
फिर हम सारे साथ में पियेंगे.
इसको भाई UFO दिखाएंगे. Man, this is how your parents met.
UFO दिखाने के लिए, देखने के लिए.
देखने दिखाने के लिए.
UFO नहीं था वो.
ये देखना दिखाना चलता रहेगा.
सॉसर नहीं था वो, सॉसेज था. सॉसेज दिखाना था पापा को.
तो
Anyway.
once inside, the beings started experimenting on her. ये सारे बस experiment ही करते हैं. Now, the most mind-fucking part of this thing is, she said they put an instrument inside her nose. ठीक है?
Cocaine.
And then she was passed out, and she just remembers they put an instrument inside her nose. And then she woke up 2 hours later at like 5 a.m. back next to her husband.
Okay.
ठीक है? In 1991, this is like 2 years after the abduction, she reached out to Hopkins, that was the
UFOlogist.
ufologist, with an X-ray of her nose, and there was something inside her nose.
Okay.
Okay, there was a weird cylindrical object in her nose.
लेगो.
Snort कर लिया उसने. Linda then after like a little bit time, she claimed that the object was removed during another abduction.
But
Now
वो
you
ऑब्जेक्ट
think-
को इनने निकालने की कोशिश नहीं करी.
हाँ?
और-
नहीं, जो भी एक्सरे था उन्होंने
ऊपर
सब
फका बोल
नहीं
के
देखा.
अटक गया
Wait,
नाक में इसकी.
so the second
बहुत छोटा
abduction-
ऑब्जेक्ट था.
The second abduction was after she contacted
कॉन्टैक्टेड हॉपकिंस एक्सरे दिखा
Alright.
के. ठीक है?
All right.
पर उसके बाद तुम सोचोगे ठीक है झूठ बोल रही है क्योंकि इसने बोला कि अब है नहीं ऑब्जेक्ट.
हाँ.
But till date, her nose has this marking that something had been there.
How?
That
Her
like, it
fingers.
has those fucking marks कि जहाँ पर कुछ install करा था. जैसे your skin just has those holes or something.
So there's a physical picture of
There's a physical X-ray of her nose having that, and there's a physical X-ray of her nose still
not having
those
it.
compartments where that thing was.
and
Nothing. So basically, after that, after abduction, they visited a nose and throat specialist who confirmed the object was gone, but there was a built-up cartilage which showed where it was embedded.
it was embedded.
Yeah.
This case, so basically, these kind of details are somewhat common in these cases, but how this case was like made famous because 1991, nearly 2 years after the abduction, Hopkins, the ufologist, received a letter from two police officers in November 9, who claim having seen Linda float out of her window the exact same date that Linda had said that.
लेकिन
this is
2 years
later.
later.
2 years later.
क्या उनको एकदम कैसे
No.
याद
So
आया?
basically, we got to know that these were bodyguards of a big government official.
So they didn't
Oh.
want to say.
They didn't want to say, and the government official had also signed the paper because he had also seen it. Linda
signed
float out of the window,
And this
float
was in
up
New
the
York.
spaceship. This was in New York.
The government official signed the paper saying.
Yeah,
that
he
this-
signed it in an anonymous thing
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
him,
yeah.
but he sent it to Hopkins
Hmm.
that he had also seen it.
And this paperwork is legit. Like this is not something
this-
Hopkins can make up.
See, that is for you to discover. Now people can of course spread rumors that
Speculate.
कि ये झूठ है, ये इसने
और ये paperwork कब आया था? बाद में.
2 years later.
And this case has been publicized by now.
Yeah, but no, little bit. But they felt very guilty about not helping the woman, and the one officer had a nervous breakdown.
What was the husband's take? वो जो सो रहा था.
Yeah, actually that's a
नाम ही
good
नहीं आया
question
बीच
though.
में।
मतलब 2 बार उठा लिया उसको. वो 2 बार सोता रहा.
अबे वो
नहीं,
aliens
husband
बोल
का
रहे
क्या
थे,
हुआ?
थका हुआ था वो
husband
काम।
ने कुछ नहीं कहा इसमें.
पहले कुछ नाक में डाल गए फिर निकाल
Did they
लिया.
have any pets or anything like you know how animals
would
usually
react.
react to
No,
something
no,
like
no,
that?
nothing like that happened.
But I don't know, like I don't get why when aliens abduct people, they just like
To
normally
experiment on
return them. Why would they normally return them?
Because there have been cases where people just vanish. Like my third case, somebody just vanished.
Spoiler.
Let's get to the third one.
So
But we know
so
what's going to
basically the names that she got from these two officials were Richard and Dan, and they were just looking for answers about what they saw from
I see.
Hopkins. But yeah, why do you think this could be false?
Just the time gap, because
Yeah,
everything
like-
happens like 2-3 years after. So
No,
it could,
the time gap, like basically this is like they got the letters after the case was publicized a bit, but like they got the letters after the case was publicized a bit, so maybe it could just be someone की bench letter भेज देते हैं, हाँ
No, but
Hopkins की
okay.
बात
So
होती है।
between that 1 year, Linda also got Richard and Dan came after 2 years. But in that gap, Linda got 23 witnesses who saw the shit. And so Linda's side of it, which Linda said is, and I quote, "If I was hallucinating, then the witnesses saw my hallucination. That sounds crazy than the whole abduction phenomenon."
Like that's similar to what I said, right? कि अगर मैंने देखा है तो बेंचुत फिर मैं hallucinate कर सकता हूँ, सेम चीज एग्जैक्टली उसी टाइम पे कैसे hallucinate कर
हाँ,
सकता
तो
है?
यही उस लिंडा ने कहा कि माधव चो तो मैं देख रही हूँ पर इनको मैं
एक
दिखा
second.
थोड़ी रही. The third abduction was Frederick Valentich. ठीक है?
Okay.
And this is different because
let's
the
call him
person-
Fred.
Yeah, we'll just call him
Fred.
Fred. This is different because the person never returned. ठीक है? ये बंदा गायब ही हो गया.
Okay.
This happened October 21, 1978 at 6:19 p.m. exact.
What was the year again?
78.
Okay.
78. So this was a pilot. Okay. So he was an instructor pilot. He began the flight from Victoria, Australia to King Island, Tasmania, over the whatever the fuck destination जो भी इसकी थी.
Tasmania is where? Europe?
Australia only.
Australia
Oh.
only. It was a short flight. His
Okay.
destination was only about an hour away. So he was only 20 years old at that time, and he was just flying. He reported that he was just flying to get some more flight hours in.
By
Yeah.
himself? He was flying by himself?
Yeah, he was flying by himself.
What? This is one of those small like
Propeller
small-
plane.
Propeller,
हाँ.
Okay.
It was one of those planes that could land in water also very comfortably.
Oh.
Okay.
ठीक है? So Valentich asked whether there was any during in his transmission when he was like halfway through or like 20-30% through. He asked whether there was any other aircraft in that area.
He asked
And-
the air traffic control.
Yeah, he asked the
Okay.
ATC, and because he claimed there was an unknown aircraft flying 1,000 feet above him. ठीक है?
Okay.
So, and it was really fast and it had 4 bright lights. He said, and I quote, it seems to be playing some sort of game. He's flying over me. It's not an aircraft.
Okay.
He said this. Okay. वो बार बार डिस्क्राइब करता गया उसको कि ये स्टेशनरी है वो बट इट्स कॉपिंग एग्जैक्टली व्हाट आई एम डूइंग. ठीक है? इसके ऊपर ही ऐसे ऐसे उड़ रहा है. ठीक है? हवर कर रहा है. इट्स ऑर्बिटिंग ऑन टॉप ऑफ मी. थोड़ा सा मेटालिक है.
Yeah.
He said it's metallic, it's shiny on the outside, and अचानक से he said it vanished. End quote.
Okay.
ठीक है? His last message to air traffic control was around 7:12 p.m. in which he said the aircraft is on top of me again. It's hovering. ... It's not an aircraft.
And then?
And then there was 17 seconds of silence followed by metal scraping, and then the aircraft was never seen again.
Not only was the person not seen again, but the aircraft was also not
never
seen.
seen again.
That's all. This
That's
is
all.
the whole
He just
incident.
ended because he couldn't come back to collaborate. The story there was
This was
nobody.
in
There was
1978.
there was a picture. Now nobody has proof on that picture that picture was photoshopped later or something like that. Whereas there's a picture of the lighthouse around the same time, like a Polaroid or something like
Yeah.
that, which around the same time, which shows a mysterious object of where this plane was supposed to be.
इस वाले में वही है कि बर्म्यूडा ट्रायंगल पे भी तो चीज़ें जाती थी और फिर वो कभी नहीं मिलती थी. फिर वो इवेंचुअली उसकी मिस्ट्री बर्म्यूडा ट्रायंगल की मिस्ट्री सॉल्व हो गई थी ना.
Bermuda
Yeah.
Triangle is just
पर वहाँ पे भी तो प्लेन्स
गायब वायब होते थे पर कभी भी ऐसे ट्रांसमिशन नहीं आते थे कि
हाँ.
हमारे ऊपर ये सब उड़ रहा है.
हाँ.
और
मुझे
ये
लगता है ही
अचानक
वाज जस्ट इन द रॉन्ग प्लेस एट द रॉन्ग टाइम. हो सकता है कि वहाँ पे कोई मिलिट्री अपना कोई फ्यूचर टेक या कोई फ्यूचर प्लेन टेस्ट कर रहे हो और ये गलत टाइम पे वहाँ पहुँच गया
और देख ले.
और इसको बस
Yeah.
बोल रहे हैं कि वहाँ पे कुछ नहीं देखा तूने कुछ नहीं देखा. दे जस्ट ट्राई ही जस्ट
That's why he disappeared also.
Yeah.
इसके स्क्रैप्स भी कहते नहीं
Yeah.
मिले तो उसको बिल्कुल छुपा.
हाँ,
ही
हाँ,
केप्ट
हाँ.
केप्ट देम अंडर रैप्स.
Yeah, that could also be something. इस
Could
वाली this is because of the year it could be.
It's 1978. इसने कोई हो
Yeah.
सकता है अच्छा प्लेन ना देखा हो, थोड़ा फ्यूचरिस्टिक,
exactly,
कोई और
exactly.
गवर्नमेंट टेस्ट करी हो, थोड़ा मेटालिक प्लेन.
Because those even in Top Gun वो जो बेंच वो black वाला जो उड़ा रहा होता है that
Fifth
fucking
generation
yeah
fighter.
exactly.
But why would they just follow him whatever is he doing?
Because he saw them na.
Yeah.
Yeah.
वो नीचे आके बताएगा कि क्या उड़ रहा था ऊपर.
But last incident is that I want to talk about is I don't know if you guys have read about this, but basically I don't know if this was some nuclear explosion. I don't know if this was Hiroshima and Nagasaki or which nuclear explosion this was, but there was an incident where like not Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that was a fucking nuclear bomb.
Chernobyl?
Chernobyl नहीं जो जापान में कौन सा होता है सुनामी के टाइम.
याद नहीं.
Basically you guys remember tsunami आया था
Yeah.
जापान में and that caused a nuclear meltdown.
Yeah.
Do you remember that AMK?
Yeah. This was recently only.
Yeah, the Japan tsunami is
Like,
not like 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Or
To like 2008. is
Power
some-
plant explosion जो हुई थी.
nuclear plant.
Fukushima.
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 Not Hiroshima. Fukushima. Sorry. So Fukushima में, I don't know if I'm not. Don't quote me on this. I'm not sure if it was Fukushima, but one of the power plants in Japan or in some not power plants, one of the nuclear power plants in Japan or some country. I'm pretty sure it was Fukushima. Basically, there was a tsunami, and this Fukushima nuclear power plant or whichever power plant this is, started having a meltdown, and it started leaking all of this radiation stuff, and all of this fucking bullshit started like spreading everywhere, right? And this was uncontainable because the tsunami was there as well. So people couldn't go there to fix it because there's water.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where, and I think Fukushima was near the coast or something.
Yeah.
Right, so it was hit by the tsunami right away, and there was too much water for anyone to go to contain that particular explosion, that particular nuclear meltdown. And then there were sightings of these 3 UFOs there that apparently came there and did some shit for a while. Like they were spotted there for a really long time, and then somehow the radiation reduced, and the meltdown got contained. And there's no reason, there's no explanation, and there's no logical basically there's no logical explanation behind how that
aliens
meltdown
helped
was
us.
contained.
They're saying the aliens helped
yeah,
us.
and there's like a lot of, I think there's YouTube videos and stuff also on this, of this theory that those UFOs somehow contained that meltdown because humans could not contain it, and if it wasn't contained, there was some absolutely horrendous like outcomes of the contamination,
Fucking
basically.
man.
Yeah, the aftermath of that meltdown would have been fucked. And these 3 UFOs were spotted there for hours and hours, and they somehow did like or whatever, something happened which is unexplained, which contained that meltdown. And there's also pretty famous that thing. I'll show you guys the
Yeah.
theory on YouTube after
I'm
this.
going to read after this, yeah.
So yeah, like it's like that's why I am more convinced that the story that you just told us is not aliens, it's future tech, and then the government hiding it. Because I don't think aliens kill you. Because if aliens
Yeah.
really wanted to kill a particular human, they could just kill the whole race.
Yeah.
Because they're that advanced. So I don't think
It's not going to be that hard.
if aliens really wanted to meddle with our bullshit, they could like just end Earth. Like, and it would
Aliens
be
सुपारी ले रहे हैं.
yeah, like if they wanted to meddle with our bullshit, they could end us in a way where we wouldn't. It would just be a snap and it's over. We wouldn't even know because that obviously their weapons are so advanced that it wouldn't be like an explosion. It would just be
Like,
and
yeah,
we
snap
disappear.
of fingers.
Exactly, and we disappear like some
But-
Thanos type shit.
Yeah, but like aliens only started appearing near the time that when humans got the nuclear power. That's like this. This is the theory, and that's why there are so many alien sightings near the states, because most states has the most nuclear weapons. So and I was reading like I read about this. No, there was this guy talking and read about
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
an interview that they tried to nuke the moon. Like back in like 80s or some shit.
Merca.
Minions का
But-
plot.
Who tried to nuke the moon?
That states.
Oh, they tried to nuke the moon.
Yeah.
ये मिनियंस का प्लॉट था ना ये.
मिनियंस का था, पेंगुइन्स वाली मूवी का था.
नहीं, वो ग्रू वाली मूवी का.
Oh.
हाँ, Minions ही था वो.
But yeah, and then when they did, the UFOs came, and there were 2 UFOs,
Yeah.
and the missile was in the air, and they shut it down mid-air and just fell.
On the moon.
Yeah. No, not on the moon. Like वापस से गिर गया. Like
Oh.
they just shut down the whole missile. वो
वो
first time-
space में ही गिर गया, float करके चले
हाँ.
गया.
But that's what, right? Even this, like, this is also the same thing, right? This power plant was melting down, and
Yeah.
these UFOs appeared there.
वो randomly nuke क्यों भेज दी भाई moon पे?
नहीं, it was between the जब वो रखा था यूएस और रशिया की वॉर चल रही थी,
कोल्ड वॉर चल रही
हाँ, और जब वो लोग वो उस पे वो करने की ट्राई कर रहे थे, सब लोग मून पे कब्जा करने की ट्राई कर रहे थे
न्यूक ही कर देंगे मूव.
हाँ, because they just
Nobody
didn't
gets
want,
it if you don't
yeah,
get it.
basically that.
American way.
But
Yeah.
this is like some interview on Reddit though.
But
So-
still, that's what, right? Like,
Yeah.
aliens started appearing when they knew that we were advanced enough to actually end our
Kill ourselves,
civilization.
yeah.
Because like,
ये कर सकते हैं पर ये सारे चूते अपने आप को ही मार देंगे.
वही ना, like there's like, they're like a higher power that's kind of looking over us. Because if they didn't want to look over us, they could. If they wanted to end us, they could end us. But why would they be indifferent? Either they
Yeah.
would end us or they would
Help
look
us.
over us. Yeah, right. Like, why would
But
they be indifferent?
I mean, they could be indifferent too. There could be.
When have humans as a race
Have
ever
been
been
indifferent?
indifferent? We see something, बेंचो कीड़े दिख रहे हैं, वो बेंचो इनको लैबोरेटरी में डालो, सालों को इनको एक्सपेरिमेंट करेंगे, वो चूहे दिख गए, उनकी माच होती. Like whenever we see something new, we try it now that we are whatever, like aware. We try to observe without meddling and stuff, but we
Yeah.
observe.
Yeah.
हो सकता है लिंडा
और-
को ठीक भी कर रहे थे वो.
और अब तू देख जैसे ये like these species that are going extinct, what are humans doing? We're trying to save them, right?
Yeah.
We consider ourselves superior beings to
Yeah.
these animals, and now like tiger को बचाने के लिए बेंचो artificial insemination,
all of
बच्चे
that shit.
creating sanctuaries and stuff. So why can't we be like aliens are creating sanctuaries
Yeah.
around us and trying to protect the human species?
No, I
because-
believe they've been like trying to save us from the very start, because humans are like just genetically not very smart, because we've
We're
been
just bound to fuck shit up.
it's just evolution that we've gotten this smart like after so long. तो इससे पहले तो there's a pretty good chance we would gone extinct just because there was so less of us and we were so stupid.
like yeah, like
there's
how
a theory also behind that before we evolved, the Earth existed for so long. How do we know that there was not a same human species before us? Because nothing would survive after the thing. Like
Afterward.
nothing. Like after the meteor and after so much time, like everything. If we build tech or buildings, also nothing would survive after so long.
Oh, so you're saying it's a complete
It's a
reset.
cycle.
Yeah.
It completely got recycled.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's scientifically true though, because like if
No,
there
no,
were-
this is scientifically true.
No, if there were humans, like before, so there's been 5 mass extinctions before this, क्योंकि और वो भी उसी वजह से पता लगे हैं because they were like hard-shelled animals before us, कि like जिनके नीचे like if you keep digging, there's all like in different layers of earth, different layers of sands, you find different kinds of materials like human hard-shelled material, not human, I mean animal hard-shelled materials. तो जैसे जब rocks वो होते हैं तो उनके अंदर वो embed हो जाते हैं.
Bro, that's so close. Anything we found by dinosaurs also is so close to us right now.
Yeah.
Compared to since the Earth has existed,
Yeah.
it's a very short amount of time since,
Yeah, it
since
is,
the
it is.
dinosaurs existed.
Yeah.
So I'm saying there was so much time before that, nothing would have survived. Everything should have, what is it called, the D word?
Decomposed.
Decomposed. Everything would have
So you're saying
decomposed.
decomposed to the point where there would be no trace of
Yeah,
it
that's it.
at all.
That's scientifically true. Nothing would survive.
But yeah, like I have a feeling like aliens obviously exist and they're clearly looking
They
over
could be
us.
they could be born on Earth, and these are the species that survived and went to space, and then
and now they're kind of looking
Yeah.
over us.
Yeah.
But
They were
then that,
looking over the lady in New York. She used to have a snoring problem. Her husband
हाँ
used to
उसका
complain.
पुर्जा खराब हो गया.
उसने कहा,
इसको
"नाक
इसको
ठीक करो,
ठीक करना है,
उसको
इसको ठीक नहीं
sleep
करना है."
apnea था
वो ऐसे गोल चक्कर मार रही थी बार अपने
बोले
आप
तू
में
सोने की तो ट्राई कर.
उसका पति रोज कहता था एलियंस वाइज की नाक ठीक कर दो.
finally आ गए वो.
तभी वो बोल रहे थे इसको सोने दे आ रहा तुम्हारे साथ.
उठ ही नहीं रहा, नाटक कर रहे हैं. हाँ, ले जाओ.
उसको पता था आने वाले.
उसने तो ऑर्डर किए थे जोमेटो पे.
But yeah, I think we can conclude that all of us, I think except Keshav, do believe in aliens.
केशव इज एन एलियन.
इसलिए वो ट्राई कर रहा हो ऐसे नहीं
नहीं है,
नहीं,
aliens
होते
की
ही नहीं
नाक
है
ठीक
नहीं है नहीं है.
नहीं है. एरिया 51 मत जाना. नहीं है.
Area 51 पे तो we can have a whole ass
Yeah,
podcast.
episode,
Yeah. Anyway, I think we can safely conclude that 3 people here believe in aliens. Guys, if अगर हम लोग अगले एपिसोड में बहुत स्ट्रेंज बिहेव कर रहे हैं
तो हम एलियन बन चुके हैं.
नहीं तो हमारे को मैन इन ब्लैक ने हमारी मेमोरी वाइप कर दी है. अगर हम थोड़ा अजीब अजीब एक्ट कर रहे हैं, मुझे पता नहीं है कि हमने मतलब
एपिसोड
पूरी-
कौन सा था ये?
पर्सनैलिटी बदल गई पूरी.
पता चल एपिसोड 8 दोबारा कर रहे हैं.
I'll be like, yeah guys, welcome back to episode 80.
Next 10 साल तक episode 80
वहाँ चुक गई. Episode 8 की. So guys, our middle camera is dead. So the outro is happening on this camera. This has been episode 8 of the Podstarz, where we have the biggest headphones, we have the biggest microphones, but we have the smallest penises. Bye.
Bye.